as if by magic. Oh, look at that. Hello fellow coffee botherers. In this video we're going to be comparing the Lelit Elizabeth V3 with the Sage or Breville dual boiler. These are both great value dual boiler espresso machines with their own unique abilities. I think most home baristas considering one of these should probably be weighing up the other one too. I think this is particularly true of anyone who's considering the Sage dual boiler in the UK or Europe for reasons I'll explain shortly. Let's start out with the prices. In the UK at RRP, the Sage dual boiler is £1,250. In Germany and other countries in Europe, it's about €1,250. And the Lelit Elizabeth is £1,200 in the UK, €1,350 in other European countries. In America, the Elizabeth is about $1,800 and the dual boiler is about $1,600. In Canada, Elizabeth is $2,600 Canadian dollars, and the dual boiler is $2,400. In Australia, the Elizabeth is about $3,000 Australian dollars, and the dual boiler is about $1,500 Australian dollars. To find the best current deal, go to coffeeblog.co.uk/deals if you're in the UK, or coffeekev.com/deals if you're in America. Dimensions. Oh, as if by magic. Elizabeth is 27 centimetres deep, about 32 wide, just under 38 tall. The dual boiler is just over 39 tall, about 41 wide to both knobs, about 38 deep to the front of the drip tray. There you go. Let's make some coffees. Wonder what coffee we've got today. Oh, chocolate brownie blend? Never. Oh, look at that. Nice. Let's make a flat white. No squirrel. Need Josh for that. Slightly different. Just to talk through the main differences, the dual boiler has bigger boilers, 450ml for brew, 950ml for steam, both stainless steel. The Elizabeth has a 300ml brass brew boiler and a 600ml stainless steel steam boiler. Is size everything? We'll put that to the test a bit later. The dual boiler has a heated stainless steel group, Elizabeth has a brass group. So they're both officially heated up in under 10 minutes, but in theory the dual boiler with a heated stainless steel group will produce a more stable brew temperature quicker than the Elizabeth, which will take longer to achieve the same, as it means the brass group heating up. Elizabeth has the Lelit LCC interface, Lelit Control Centre. Dual boiler has the LCD screen. I think they're both great once you're used to them. The dual boiler's interface is just a bit more intuitive. You can front fill the dual boiler from the fill flap. You need to access the back of the Elizabeth to fill the tank. And you can engage the wheel on the dual boiler to spin it around if you want to access the tank. You can use a Shiwi style tank filler to fill the Elizabeth from the front, of course, if you want to. Don't use a real Shiwi though, that'd be weird. There's a storage space at the back of the drip tray on the dual boiler for spare baskets, so on. The dual boiler has an auto-on schedule, Elizabeth doesn't, but it does have a proper on-off switch, so you could just use a smart plug if you like. They both have dedicated hot water spouts, but the Elizabeth has a bit more going on where water is concerned for various reasons discussed later. You can disable the brew boiler on the Elizabeth, but you can't on the dual boiler. There's a 20-minute auto-off on the current version of the dual boiler, which can't be disabled, and there's a 30-minute standby mode on the Elizabeth, which can be disabled. The shot buttons are manual, timed or volumetric on the dual boiler, manual or timed on the Elizabeth. There's no volumetric shot buttons on the Elizabeth. When it comes to pre-infusion, the Elizabeth has both bloom pre-infusion and low-pressure steam-powered pre-infusion with loads of control. The dual boiler has pump power controlled, dimmed basically, low-pressure pre-infusion, and you can control the pre-infusion pump power and pre-infusion time up to 90 seconds. You can also do the Slayer mod on the dual boiler, allowing you to use the water knob for manual flow profiling. The dual boiler has a steam lever, Elizabeth has a circular steam knob, and the dual boiler has a knob for water, Elizabeth has a button press. How can you support this channel? Thanks for asking. The easiest and most free way is to look for a button down here somewhere that should say subscribed, but it may be missing a D. Click it to replace the missing D. Thanks. Also, clicking the like button and leaving a comment helps. Maybe something like, Kev, your hair doesn't look anything like a comb over. You don't have Tobey Maguire's hairdo from Spider-Man, and I can completely understand every word you're saying. Thanks. If you like, you can also become a member by clicking the join button, which is down here somewhere under the counter, for early access to videos and stuff, and you can tell all your friends you're an official coffee botherer. Side-by-side tests. 11 seconds. In fact, say 10 seconds because I went to 210ml. So that's 10 seconds with the steam boiler on. If we do it with the steam boiler off, it's then just doing it via the group. So if we do it with the steam boiler off, it'll be a more fair test. If you've got it off, you can still get hot water, but it's not quite as powerful. So I'm going to turn the boiler off by pressing and holding minus. "20 seconds. 26 seconds. Ow. 30 seconds. 31 seconds. So we've put, we'll purge it again.
And then 30 seconds.
30 seconds. .5.
Okay.
So 5 seconds. .3. So very, very similar. Is there anything that rhymes with toffee jeans?
I know. Coffee cream?
No. Something else.
Hopes and dreams?
No, something else.
Coffee beans?
Coffee beans, that's right. I've just mentioned coffee beans, so this would be a good time to hear from our sponsor. This week, I was supposed to be promoting a statue of a deity made from margarine, but I can't believe it's not Buddha. So amazingly, this week's sponsor is me. My coffee beans from the Coffee Works are small, brown and bean-shaped, but they're also super freshly roasted, usually on the day of dispatch, and they're mega. But I would say that. What would you say? Try them and find out. Go to cworks.co.uk/25 for 25% off your first order. Our beans are now available in Ireland, by the way. Who is each machine for? Starting out with Elizabeth. I think anyone who's looking for a more traditional dual boiler in both looks and in operation would probably lean towards Elizabeth. Like that. Looks because it has the more classic Italian look, and operation meaning you'll let it heat up and then idle all day until your last shot. I think the Elizabeth is also the better choice for anyone a bit tight on counter space because the footprint is a bit smaller. If you're not that bothered about milk, or if there are times that you're not, then the Elizabeth makes sense, as you can use it as a single boiler when you don't need steam, and it'll still dispense hot water too without the steam boiler on. If you often want hot water for tea, that's another tick for the Elizabeth. With the steam boiler on, hot water temperature will go up to about 96 or 97 degrees Celsius, about 205 to 207 degrees Fahrenheit at the max steam pressure. If you want hot water for Americano, just toggle the steam boiler off and you'll get cooler hot water from the brew boiler only. The hot water on the dual boiler comes from the brew boiler, so it's a nice drinking temperature for Americano. Very similar temperature to the Elizabeth with the steam boiler toggled off. But you can't get it quite as hot as you can with the Elizabeth, like 96, 97, which is good for tea, like I've just said. When it comes to long-term maintenance and repair, although they're both repairable and maintainable, is that a word? I'd give that point to the Elizabeth too. It's quite a bit easier to get inside and everything is a bit more standard, less proprietary stuff. I think you'll find more independent engineers who'll be happy to play with the Elizabeth than the dual boiler. If you mostly use the machine within 10 to 15 minutes of turning it on, for example, you turn it on, make a few coffees, turn it off until later, the dual boiler probably makes more sense with the heated group and the 20-minute auto off. If you need to position your machine under wall cupboards, that's a point for the dual boiler, as you can fill the tank from the front or engage the wheel to spin it round for access to the back. The interface on the dual boiler I think is a bit easier to use. If you're a complete beginner to home espresso and user friendliness is your number one concern, you might find the dual boiler just slightly more user friendly. Not that the Elizabeth is tricky, just that the dual boiler is packed with user friendly creature comforts, as we'd expect from Sage or Breville. When it comes to pre-infusion, I think they're both very good, but the Elizabeth might be appealing if you like the idea of blooming shots, the dual boiler if you like the idea of modding it to do flow profiling with the water knob. Conclusion, which is the best machine for you? So to wrap up, these are both amazing dual boiler espresso machines for the money. Personally, I'd be happy with either of them as my end game for now espresso machine. Which one might be better for you will depend on the various factors I've just mentioned. The dual boiler is slightly more user friendly, has more convenient features, and the Elizabeth gives the ability to disable the steam boiler, both types of pre-infusion, hotter water for tea, and it's more compact. If after knowing all this, you're still just not sure, just go for the one you prefer the look of. You're going to have to look at it quite a lot, so you might as well like the way it looks.
I'd love to know in the comments what people think of the look of the Elizabeth.
Let me know in the comments what you think of the look of the Elizabeth and the look of the dual boiler.
Because I think, yeah, it looks very basic, but I don't know, it's got a charm about it.
Yeah, I think it's more classic espresso machine look with the...
It is boring, but there's something nice about it.
I've got, you don't know where that wooden knob is, do you, Liz?
Yeah. And show the lovely audience. Turn it to the side. That's... Ignore the fingerprints. We weren't meant to show you that. It's lovely.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better.
Better than that, isn't it?
Nice, like bottomless portal.
Yeah.
I'm more in love with the Elizabeth now. We have a question from John M. Beckenkrager.
Hi, John. I've heard from you for ages.
Is there any way to bypass milk jug button so you can hold the milk jug whilst frothing?
It's funny you should mention that because we have a video on cheat codes that includes that. That's not one of the cheat codes. Well, that's one of the Brucey bonuses in addition to the cheat codes. But yeah, you can. All you do, put some H2O in your tank or water, whichever's cheaper. And then what you have to do is make sure you're on the lowest froth setting. Pull out your wand. Put milk in your jug, obviously. And then press and hold the start froth button. Till it beeps. There you go. Steam. And press it again to stop. And push it back down so it fills your drip tray. There you go. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching, and a special thank you to all the new channel members. If you want to join in the fun, click the join button, which is down here somewhere, just under the counter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button to make it change to say subscribed. Also, liking and commenting help too. Another way to subscribe is to click on my face. Tatty bye.